Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, it's SlowMoe. Doing a little bit of Grand Turismo World Series Nations Cup today and trying something a little bit different. Instead of broadcasting live, I'm actually just going to kind of go back through and show off some of the replays here from today's races. I think that might be a little bit easier and a little bit more enjoyable for the viewers. So, basically, for those of you guys who don't know, the Gran Turismo World Series Nations Cup is a series where basically we're competing for our nation. So, depending upon what license, what driver rating you have, it'll put you in a specific lobby with similar drivers, and points are awarded based on how many victories some of the drivers in your lobbies have, and there's some crazy formula that determines what the points are worth for each lobby. So here's the first race from today, and we're going to do a little bit of a different view here. Honestly, this race started out in the third pole position, which, I was pretty happy with. Call this a learning experience, and I'm going to complain just a little bit here. Take it with a grain of salt, but when I looked at this race, and I'll admit that I didn't pay as close of attention as I should have, I looked at it, we had one tire choice, we have 12 laps, it's on the Red Bull ring, so, from my perspective, I can't see any reason to require a pit. But for some reason, Polyphony, has decided to require a pit in this race. We can't even change to a different type of tires. We don't need gas. What's the pit for? Somebody want to tell me? Put that in the comments. Let's discuss this. Is the pit reasonable in this week's Gran Turismo Nations Cup? I don't think it is. I think it's ridiculous. So anyway, here we are. It's the first race. Started in third. Eric and I were getting into a little bit of bumpity bump. He ended up getting by me here. Him and I do some battling, and throughout this race here, I know I get back in front of him because I know there's a couple times he tried to give me the pit maneuver, and to each their own. If you want to drive dirty, go for it, but it's really frustrating. It's not the way to do it. Good competition is the way this should be done. I want to beat somebody at their best, not at their dirtiest. So however you guys want to play, it's up to you. But man, the more clean racers we have, the better community it's going to be. So here you go. Look at this. Right there. I can't even drive by him. Anyway, this race, all in all, was a pretty good fun race. At one point I ended up all the way out in front by myself, and I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, look at this. Look at this. Anyway, and I'm thinking to myself, like, do I have to pit? I guess I should pit. And I'm looking at my tire wear. There's no tire wear. I got way more gas than I need. And I'm like, you know what? They can't possibly require a pit. Well, they do. They do. There's a pit. Silliness. I'm not going to make us go through all 12 laps here. We're not going to watch every single lap, every single turn, every single corner or whatever. But I'm going to watch a little bit here because I really felt like me and this guy were getting into it. And I was kind of curious as to, was he being as nefarious as I thought he was? So as you can see, the four of us are in a pretty good battle. I'm for whatever reason, having a little trouble keeping it together. Trying to get out of the racing line. Probably should have stayed where I was. I don't know. I really try to be a good sport and do the right thing, and sometimes it's not the easiest path. So you'll see, here we go, I'm in fourth. That guy's right behind me. And, we trade positions a couple times in the first couple laps. Let's go ahead and jump forward a little bit to the turn, just past the turn, so I made a pretty good catch on him. And, ultimately, when you're running on the Red Bull ring, the slipstream here is really important. So you'll see we all go purple. It's the second lap. Oh, no, it's third lap. So I went purple. I was doing pretty good on the front, but that doesn't mean anything. And there they go. So The Mazda is supposedly the meta car here. Yeah, that was nice. Thanks for the bump. So you will see plenty of people driving that. There's a lot of them out there. And yeah, we get a little clogged up here in the middle of the pack. He's going purple. Look at that guy. I got out back to 4th here. I want to kind of see this battle a little bit. That's pretty clean. No bumps, no... Ooh. There's me with a penalty. And he wants me to get out of the way. I'm driving a little wide, I'll admit that. But, you know, trying to keep my speed up. Alright, let's jump forward a lap. You'll see the demon got by me there. Let's check out what's going on up front. I don't recall seeing anybody pit yet, but I could be wrong. I feel like it's the 3rd lap, 4th lap. No, we're on the 5th lap. Okay, so maybe somebody did go through. Yeah, that group all the way at the back could have potentially pit. There's somebody way back there. The battle cattle. Alright, so I've worked myself back into 4th. Look at this. We're going to go back just a second here. He's trying to push me off. That's my spot there, Eric. I get a lane, bud. He cuts inside, and hey, that's your spot. But then, don't push me out into the gravel because you're a dope. You gotta give me room, dude. So I let him have it. I let him have the spot. Did everything I could to keep my car on the pavement and keep rolling. Gave up another spot here. There was contact there. My fault, his fault, there was fault. You know, could be me, could be him. And those things are going to happen. That's racing, right? You can't predict everything. So I'm going to save you guys a little bit of time here. We're going to jump into the 10th lap, 11th lap, excuse me. And we're going to go back here. I do not win this race. I have a 1-minute penalty because I didn't pit. So here's your leader. Who has absolutely caught up on me even though I didn't pit. Now that's pretty impressive. That's hauling. Or did he not pit? I don't know. He's in 2nd. Look at us, just cruising. And then this dirty runner. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Alpha sounds good, doesn't it? So, this is how the race ends, basically. SlowMoe, Drocast, Eric, TCR, I think. Let's see. Let's see if anything changes here before the end. He's got a ways to go. I'm going to skip a little head, skip a little head, skip a little head. Skip a little head. Boy, those guys drive slow. Skip a little head. Skip a little head. Alright, so... Oh, Drocast goes into the pit then. Well, that didn't work for him. Okay. I'm going to say, I thought this Eric chump won. Oh, that's 11, 12. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so that's the last lap there. So you guys get it. That's how that went. My dog's upstairs going nuts. So that's race 1. Then we're going to jump in and take a look at race 2. Race 2 today, I was pretty happy with my qualifying spot. Qualified up pretty high. And you're going to see that this lobby is, let's just call it a little rough. There's this guy, Falcor. I can't pronounce half these names. Me, Dubé, MGB. Mulatto, who I'm going to tell you right now is one of the dirtiest drivers I've seen in a long time. From the very beginning, he's going to make a huge dive on turn 2 on the entire pack. So we're going to watch it from this guy's perspective because this is kind of what I want to see. And I'll tell you guys, I'm not here to call out these dirty folks. What I'm doing is showing the race that I ran and the impact that these people have had on my race, okay? That's what I want you guys to take away from this. So, look at me. A penalty right off the bat. I bumped somebody. They ran off the track. 2 seconds. So, I'm still going to try and stay competitive. I don't have to get out of the way because I have a penalty. But look at this. Look at this. It just dives on everybody. I mean, it's clean. It's a run, though. Let's make no mistake about it. And he gave me a pretty nasty bump on the way in. So be it. You know, send it, right? That's what everybody says. And that's what he did. Going back here, let's watch it from behind. Look at him. He's all over the other guy. Can't keep his car on the track. And you got lead changes going on. Look at these guys. Look at this. Look at all that. It's just chaos in here. And here's me, by the way. 13th right now. So, I'll tell you, this race did not turn out well for me. That was nasty. I will not take fault for that. He was trying to push me out. Again, let me go back and look at that one for just a second here. Because, a little further, I guess, here. So I get on the left of him. And you can see that he's going to have to either go straight. And what's he doing? He's turning right, right? I mean, let's be real here. What's his wheel doing? Interesting. He's got his arms over. I can't tell. But I promise you, let's go back 10 seconds. Can I go forward just a little bit? Tap, 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 tap. Oh, I like this. Okay. So, that's cool. I didn't know I could do that. Let's hop in 10 seconds ahead here. We're going to play it. Alright, so here we go. I'm on the outside. I also have a penalty, right? So, you know, he's got to understand at this point that I'm not going to be in his way after my penalty. Because he wants to be as far right as he can get, and maybe he's not using his radar, maybe he doesn't know I'm there, but let's go into the car. Can I go in the car? Here we go. Turning left, turning left, turning left, turning left. That's interesting. His car's not going left. So, maybe that one is my fault. Don't know. Don't know. That's a cool view, though. I like that view. You can just hop through people's cars. Man, that's cool. Yeah, I guess you can see the tires are trying to turn right, but again, maybe it's my fault. If it is, hey, bud, I'm sorry. Hope you got a better race in later. So, 12th, I did make sure to pit this time. Took my penalty and took my pit right off the beginning. Let's just go ahead and jump forward here because there was some fun racing in the end. We're going to go watch the last 2 laps. So I'm in 11th. Me and Mr. SlowMoe and Slow But Show are in the racing here. And going all the way up to the front, I am Duda. And look at this guy, Mulatto, of all people, in 2nd place. Something ends up happening to him either this lap or the next lap. He doesn't end up holding his position, I don't believe, because he was near me at some point. But I wanted to kind of see if he does something, or if this guy does something, or what happened here. I'm not sure. So 2 laps to go. You know, if I'm in 3rd and I'm in this guy's shoes, my thought is, let's see if we can catch him. Just try to stay close, keep the tires rolling. You know, the 1st place is pretty far off, so And looking at the lap times, running pretty good, you know, 38.6, 38.6, 39s. It's consistent. You know, he hit 40s for a little bit. Oh, Mulatto goes to the pit on lap 11. Oh my goodness. Okay, so he hadn't done that yet. Duda, who's on his final lap and just crushing everybody. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm not in last. Oh, I'm in 10th. Here we go. And if you look at my lap times, not great. Not my best race. I will admit that when the rooms get dirty, I drive slower. For whatever reason. I don't get it, but that's how it works. So, what is the deal with the, look at the lap times on the right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 11, 12. That's weird looking. Look at this. Look at this. What a jerk. We're battling for 9th place, dude. Come on. He obviously can't drive very well because I missed that turn and he missed it worse. He still got the position, which is fine. I don't care, dude. Take 8th place. I do not want to trade paint over 8th or 9th place. I just don't. I don't want to trade paint over, you know, 4th, 5th, and 6th. For 2nd, 3rd, maybe. Nice save there. Giving up to, yeah, Mulatto, yeah. I would love to have given him a dirty, dirty bump, but I didn't get to, so. So this is pretty much, you know, the second race. I was a little frustrated. Got myself away from the setup, from the sim for a minute. Took a walk. Got a fresh coffee. You know, kind of stretched my legs a little bit. And then thought I was going to come back to the third one. And, you know, in my mind, my plan was only to run 2 or 3 total races at Red Bull today. I don't want to, you know, do a full day of Nations Cup, although that is fun. You know, keep in mind when you're doing Nations Cup, the last race is the one that counts towards your score. So there you go. I've got, you know, a 9th place in that one. We're going to drop out. And let's go to one more race here. I'm going to walk you through that and show you how I ended up finishing up my day here with the Nations Cup. And, you know, this race here was fun. I'm going to get into the replay. I started in 3rd, so I was honestly pretty excited to have another good pole position. I'm going to go through the field real quick here because I will say that this was a pretty decent room. Grand Turismo was running, I don't know, 137s in the qualifying. That's pretty fast. So then you have Pemodiar, me, MRJJ 92, Mr. Lazy Eye, Zapolian, the Dream Goat, Big Marshmallow, Jaybird, Road Dog 9mm, Lolo, Vroom Vroom, Dushan Me Do, and Backmarker Jones. So, Backmarker Jones, wow. So, again, starting in 3rd, you know, anything can happen. Here's the giddy up. So the first turn, you know, and if you remember in the last race, one of the problems I had, some unnecessary penalties that I gave myself. So my goal here was really to not get any penalties. First turn, womp, womp. I think I got one there. I forget. Yeah, you know, and I don't think anybody argues that the penalty system needs some attention. I think they touch it every once in a while, but I don't think they've done really anything to it very much. So maybe I'm wrong. They seem to be more worried about the physics of the car than the problems that most people complain about. My personal opinion, don't want to be negative, and I don't want to beat up on the makers of the game here, except for if I'm going to beat up on them, it's going to be the battle of why am I doing a pit with 12 laps at Red Bull, bud? You give me one tire choice, you're going to make me pit. I can't even fill up gas. It's pointless. It's an unnecessary 25-second stop. So I didn't even take tires. We're just running through the pit. I'm curious what anybody else does. So here you go. I was having a little trouble here. Gave up a position to Mr. JJ. And then, you know, here's another one right here. Jay Bird is running. I forget what happens to Jay Bird, but so you're going to see I'm currently in 6th, started in 3rd. So this is the first lap. And right now I'm just like thinking to myself, you know, let's just keep close. Let's stay with Jay Bird. I see the leaders are out there. They're going to have to pit at some point, so maybe I'll think about that. You see, oh, I'm actually in the pit. There you go. First lap, I took the pit. You know, I'm going to get it out of the way. I'm going to get it out of the way. I wanted to get my pit in, get back on the track, and get my momentum going. Look at this. This is so silly. I mean, I know you guys want to try and make this game real as possible. In a real 12-lap race at Red Bull, nobody's going to pit. Unless you have a problem. It's 12 laps. You only gave us hard tires. I want some justification. I really want to understand what the thought process was. Just because it's a Nations and we should pit? So be it. I want things to make sense. That's always been my thing. If it doesn't make sense, then that's on you. So, you know, the race itself, here we go. Lap 2. What I really like about that early pit strategy is you get some room. You know, I got some room here. There's a couple folks behind me. But ultimately, this is just going to be about when the guys up front decide to do their pits. Now, one thing I do want to show here is Grand Turismo here is hauling. I mean, this dude is hauling. Good racer. I mean, I don't think he ever lost the lead, to be honest with you. I was kind of watching the names, but I don't know that his ever dropped from the top position. So, 139.2, you know, that's fast. For being a second lap out there, that's pretty good. Let's see what he's doing here. He's hitting that turn really well in 3rd. On it. Running out 3rd. 4th. Good shift points. I had some problems hitting my shift points in this race. I don't know why. Look at him. There's no penalty for that. God, I'd have got a penalty for that. Maybe when you're in the lead, they're a little nicer. I'd have got a penalty for that too, probably. So, lap 3, I just wanted to kind of give you guys a full lap from the leader. And maybe it'd have been better to pick the lap that, well, he set the fastest lap on that last one, but I think he does a pretty good time on us here. And maybe it's this one, maybe it's the next one, I don't know. We're going to keep our eyes on it. So, Gran Turismo leading the way. And, you know, it's a relevant thing to explain that he isn't pit yet. So that's coming too. Let's see what we got here. 18, 19. So this is probably, I would tell you this is probably a mid 138 lap. Depending upon how he gets through here. 3rd there. Does he hit 4th? Yep. 3rd. I'd actually come down to 2nd there to help my turn the car a little bit. 5, 6, 7. There you go. Low 8. 138.3. So that's a pretty good lap. All right. Let's get back to the middle of the pack stuff here. So I'm in 10th. There is not a whole lot behind me and quite a ways in front of me. My pit has been completed. And you'll see that the guy in front of me here, Lolo, is in the pit. So here I come, taking a free position because of his pit. So 10th to 9th. So this is lap 4, moving up. And we're going to go ahead and hop forward to lap 4-2 here. So I'm in 9th, 2 pits. There you go, Jay Bird. And the Dream Goater pit, so I'm in 7th. Lap 7th. Oh, let's go back and watch that one here. I'm gonna guess this is a pit pass, because, you know, if you look at where these guys are compared to me, they're up past the first turn. I'm not there yet. So I'm assuming that those were pit passes. I wonder if you guys can hear. My dog is going absolutely berserk in the background. Yeah, we can see the douche cloud me do. Whatever. So we got eyes on him. I don't remember. He's got a pit here, is my guess. Let's see what he's doing. Oh, he got a penalty. That's what it was. All right. So there you go. There's 6. And do we have... How do I get 5? Pit. Okay. So there you go. So there's another spot. So 5th place. Boom. All right. So that's 8. So here's 9. Just passed somebody in the pit. And then we got Mr. J coming out of the pit. And this is important. Keep an eye on this. So him and I... Boom. Dumb penalty. Dumb penalty. Oh, God, they're so tricky. So here's me and Mr. J. We've got 3 people in front of us, right? So I'm in 4th. He's in 5th. He is going to take the position from me. I think it's right there. Yep. And honestly, I got a half-second penalty. I'm fine with that. And I'll tell you, personally, at this point, I'm thinking to myself, top 5, I'm cool with that. I know I pitted early. I don't know who has and who hasn't pit. I'm not watching, I'm driving. So my thought right now was, let's run with Mr. J. Let's run clean, stay fast, and see if him and I can, gain some ground and some spots here. Pretty good. I'll let you guys watch the last couple laps here, because I think, him and I do some good, clean driving. You'll see that I try to push a little too hard. So, down to 3rd, trying to come around this corner. I want to get those RPMs up a little quicker. Boom, there you go. Into 4th. I like to hit 5th on the straightaway by about here if you can. I had that half second, so there's that. And you'll see the douche cloud behind me is pretty far back. I mean, I think he's 2.5 seconds, maybe 3. So, I'm looking at Mr. JJ, just saying, let's roll. So, 4th, 5th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd in front of us. And here comes, we're going to start lap 10. And if you look at my times again, 43, 40, 40, 40, 39, 39, 38, decent, 41, not so great. I'm really not proud of that. I would say that this was a best case scenario, the way that this race turned out for me. So, just trying to keep up with him at this point. You'll see he was getting a little space from me. Half-second penalty, call it what you will. He's got some good momentum, and I was just not really able to kind of close that gap. And then you got the douche cloud. Oh, nope, douche cloud has been passed, so backmarker Jones is right here. Sounds like a Bubba the Love Sponge reference or something. And he's doing everything he can to get me. And then you got me and Mr. JJ rolling right along, lap 10. Here you go. Graham is going into pit. Now watch this. So he is in the pits and doesn't lose a spot because Pomodi R, Big Marshmallow, I believe, also come in. There you go. Boom. All right, out comes Grand Turismo. And here you go with me and Mr. JJ rolling by the starting line to swoop up on those 2 positions for those guys that waited for the late pit in lap 10. So we're going to pass them right now. And I believe they're coming out of the pits. Yep, right now. So, I'm sure they're chomping at the bit right here thinking, oh my God, there they go. Well, and I'll be honest, this is how it ends. A good couple laps, nice and clean, with me, Mr. JJ. Gran Turismo is, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds ahead of us at this point. I mean, just crushing us. What kind of laps is he doing? So he put the 137 up, which is really good. There's his pit with the 158. Me and Mr. J. Mr. JJ! Dynamite are just running back here, you know? And this was a great one for me to end on. I'll tell you why. It was more clean than not. You know, there might have been a little bumping and grinding in the early parts, and not too much, ultimately. This one really, you know, I was able to walk away with a pretty big smile and say that, hey, I had a decent race, had some good competition, and I was perfectly happy with the third place for this week. You know, I think going forward for the Nations Cup, I'm going to treat it with a grain of salt. You know, if it's a track that I like, I'll put a little bit more effort into. If it's not track car combo that doesn't make sense, then, you know, maybe do a couple races and see how it goes. But you know, the Nations Cup format is a lot of fun. So here's the final lap. It ends like this: Gran, Mr. JJ. You know, I hate to be a spoiler here, but that's how it finished. So ultimately, you know, I am really happy with this you know, Nations Cup racing today. A little confused with some of the decision making behind some of the requirements, but hey, you know, we all had the same rules, right? So it's not like one person had different rules. The penalty system operates the same for everybody. You know, I think there's plenty of people who are yelling for change, right? They want the penalty system changed and fixed. I mean, honestly, you know, if I'm in last place and you guys just keep penalizing me, that's the silliest thing in the world. I think there should be some type of logic behind it. Not to say that the last place guy can just rail ride to catch up with everybody, but, you know, I don't know. Don't pick on somebody too bad. You know, somebody pushes you out of the path, you can't penalize the guy that got pushed off. So I think those are some things that Polyphony can focus on. Polyphony. I may never say it correctly, just out of disrespect. So, love the game. Love the game. They did a great job with it. I'm having a lot of fun. Without a sim, I wouldn't be playing it. So I know there's a lot of people that play on controllers. You guys, I got a lot of respect for it. I used to be in that spot, and it's not as fun as I used to think it was. The sim is the only way to go. So, well, SlowMoe, thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed watching some of my racing, please hit that like button. You know, if you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe for me. You know, got some content that I got planned here that you're going to see a little bit more and more of. For those of you who came in to check out your race with me from today, hey, great racing today, everybody. You know, run clean, rubber side down. The paint's supposed to stay on your car. So, hope everybody has a great day, great weekend, great afternoon, evening, wherever you're at. Thank you so much for joining me. And we're going to come back to you soon with some new content. Cheers.